Welcome. Today is Friday, July 24th, 2026. Coming up this hour, Virtual Beings, Briefing 1. Virtual beings are reshaping industries from gaming and marketing to enterprise, driven by new tech and cultural shifts. Virtual Beings, Briefing 2. Virtual beings now reshape policy, products, platforms, and tech infrastructure. Virtual Beings, Briefing 3. Virtual influencers and digital beings stake their claim across entertainment and branding. And finally, world models and Meta-Anduril briefing. AI talent wars intensify as venture-backed world model startups clash with Meta's massive infrastructure push. We begin with entertainment. A virtual being is bringing an entirely AI-generated film to theaters, marking a significant test for the medium. The AI YouTuber Gossip Goblin, created by Zach London, is preparing a limited theatrical release starting October 30 for his AI-created anthology film Gods Don't Give Gifts. The project, made with the AI entertainment studio Fable, explores a future where technology overcomes human limits and has secured a distributor for screenings in cities including New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Chicago. Fable's CEO Edward Sarch framed the theatrical run as a statement that AI-created work is a form of art deserving of a big-screen experience, while London sees it as a way to bypass traditional budgetary constraints and realize unusual ideas. Separately, director Darren Aronofsky's AI-focused studio Primordial Soup, which has partnered with Google DeepMind to produce short films, is seeking to raise $15 million in equity, having already sold over $11 million this month. In the music industry, a creator facing scrutiny for undisclosed AI use has added credits to a chart-topping single. Josh Fowers updated the credits for his cover of Madonna's Like a Prayer on Spotify to include generative AI, after an investigation by the Australian Broadcasting Corporation raised questions about the track's production. The cover amassed over 39 million streams and spent 4 weeks atop Australian airplay charts, sparking a wider backlash from DJs and producers who accuse him of using AI to generate music and divert streams from human artists. A digital avatar of a major political leader has been launched to handle public inquiries. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim introduced PMX AI, an AI-powered digital avatar accessible via WhatsApp. Developed by Zetrix AI, the service allows citizens to send questions, voice concerns, and share feedback directly with a virtual version of the leader through a dedicated phone number, representing a shift in public engagement by placing a digital surrogate on a commonly used messaging platform. South Korean broadcaster has announced a new reality show concept centered on human-AI relationships. SBS is producing a show where humans date artificial beings, a move that comes amid growing global discussion about AI psychosis and the potential for users to detach from reality through chatbot interactions. Next, gaming and esports. A major esports organization has signed a top chess player as part of its roster. Basilisk Esports has signed GM Anish Giri, a longtime top 10 chess player and instructional author, who joins GM Vincent Kiemer at the organization. Giri will begin representing the team at the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz tournament starting on July 31, and he noted that the connection between science, chess, and esports made Basilisk a perfect fit. In enterprise and industrial applications news, a leading software company has launched a suite of AI virtual companions designed to co-engineer with human professionals across various industrial tasks. Dassault Systems has made its virtual companions Aura, Leo, and MARE available on its 3D and AI native agentic platform. They use structured industry knowledge to interpret user intent and generate outcomes grounded in science. An AI-powered training platform is expanding beyond content creation to performance evaluation. Synthesia has launched a new product called Roleplay Sessions, an interactive training platform where employees simulate workplace conversations with AI avatars. The avatars can respond dynamically, challenge users, and assess their performance against predefined criteria, moving the company's focus from generating training videos to measuring actual skill improvement. The first product under a broader sessions platform, it is initially targeted at large enterprises for sales enablement and leadership development. A novel AI employee has been integrated into a major company's engineering team. mendiCom has developed an internal AI agent system named Sphera, where agents are treated as teammates with profiles, managers, and performance scores. A specific agent named Atlas functions as a software engineer, autonomously picking up tickets, writing code, and shipping features by interacting through Slack and GitHub like any other human team member. The company has also deployed Morphex, its first fully autonomous engineering agent, which merges 19 out of every 20 of its pull requests automatically. Startup has launched a platform to preserve and contextualize museum exhibition knowledge. Korean technology firm Indic launched ARTFACT, a platform that converts museum exhibition catalogs into curator-verified digital archives. The system extracts records, images, and narratives from catalogs, linking them to source pages to create a digital master that preserves curatorial interpretation and narrative connections for future use by AI tools. Now, marketing and content creation. A series of AI-powered original titles based on Indian mythology is set to launch on a major streaming platform. Z5 has partnered with Collective Studios Historivers to launch 6 AI-powered originals, including Asterisk Garad, Ek Yodha Kaigatha, and Vikram Beetle or Narpishachani Asterisk. The project aims to reinterpret familiar stories through AI-powered visuals, with all titles premiering in 7 languages. AI avatar generators are increasingly being used for scalable video content creation. A review of the vMake AI avatar generator found it can take a single product photo or URL and generate a usable AI avatar video in minutes, with features for easy multilingual localization and consistent product representation. The tool is suited for short ads and UGC-style clips, but is limited by a 15-second video cap. Other notable platforms in this space include DID, which generates interactive avatars from multi-sentiment recordings of real actors, and Colossian, which allows users to create an avatar from a single photo or video. A tool for creating AI-driven video ads has demonstrated practical use for small campaigns. Review of Nextify. AI found it combines video generation, AI avatar presenters, and static image tools to create ads with over 1,000 ultra-realistic avatars that speak in more than 40 languages. It supports models like Sora 2 and Veo 3.1 and can produce talking head clips, product demonstrations, and unboxing videos rapidly, making it useful for entrepreneurs and small marketing teams needing quick content creation without traditional production costs. A new AI video generation service has enhanced its editing capabilities. NoLang, an AI video generator, added a shape decoration feature allowing users to add borders and backgrounds using 4 shape types to text, images, and videos. This aims to reduce the design burden for in-house corporate video production, which has grown significantly in Japan. Preschool education is incorporating virtual beings into early learning. At Dream STEAM Academy in St. Louis, preschoolers will create digital avatars, record sound bites, and explore artificial intelligence as part of a curriculum designed to introduce them to STEAM concepts. Founder Latoya Blair stated students will create avatars, record sound bites, and showcase what they know to build confidence, communication skills, and AI literacy through hands-on learning. Turning to cultural and historical contexts. A major Chinese AI regulation has forced the shutdown of virtual companion features on mainstream platforms. New rules issued by the Cyberspace Administration of China, effective July 15, impose a total ban on minors interacting with virtual partners or digital relatives, and restrict services for adults from cultivating emotional addiction or displacing real relationships. In response, ByteDance disabled human-like agents on its Dabao chatbot, and Alibaba removed romantic companion modes from its QN chatbot, affecting millions of users who had formed attachments to these AI companions. A dedicated platform for decentralized digital companions has enhanced its interaction capabilities. For GPT strengthened its AI interaction models to improve how its digital companions communicate, adapt, and engage with users across Web3 and emerging Web4 ecosystems. The upgrade enables better understanding of user behavior, conversational continuity, and personalized responses, supporting richer engagement in gaming and digital communities. Advanced AI infrastructure is being deployed to power interactive photorealistic avatars. CoreWeave's AI Cloud has been selected to power the development of AI agents for Anarm, an interactive avatar platform for adding a face to agents. Anarm builds avatars for face-to-face conversational experiences, requiring ultra-low latency to feel natural. The system will run inference workloads on NVIDIA RTX Pro 6000 Blackwell Server Edition GPUs to deliver sub-180 millisecond response times. And finally, technological developments. A major advancement in video AI memory could change how systems understand long-form footage. Unlike standard models that treat video as a sequence of frames, this compound AI system creates a queryable representation spanning an entire video corpus, enabling functions like tracking an entity across years of footage or analyzing build-up plays across a tournament. It is built on 5 layers: moments, entities, appearances, relationships, and temporal sequences, and is positioned as infrastructure for developers to build upon. An AI video detector has been launched to help newsrooms identify synthetic content. NVIDIA unveiled its synthetic video detector at SIGGIPH 2026, a tool that analyzes videos frame by frame and produces a probability score estimating whether footage contains AI-generated content. It achieved up to 92% accuracy on uncompressed video in internal testing, declining to 82% after 50% compression, and is designed to support existing newsroom verification processes rather than replace them, with initial integration into Wowzer's video intelligence framework. An open-source tool has been developed for editing talking head videos in the wild. Video ray talking uses an audio-based lip synchronization technique to realistically edit lip movements in videos with complex lighting or head poses. It automatically detects and tracks faces, generates corresponding lip shapes from new audio, and maintains temporal consistency, making it useful for YouTube creators or short video editors who need to replace dialogue without a studio environment. We begin with governance and policy. YouTube will demonetize 3 categories of AI-generated content on its platform under its inauthentic content policy, as detailed by YouTube's VP of Trust and Safety, Matt Halprin. The company will remove monetization from generic and repetitive AI or human-made content that follows a set visual template, from off-putting and distressing content that is emotionally manipulative or overly violent, and from AI personas that exclusively cover sensitive topics such as finance, legal issues, or healthcare. The policy represents a platform-level governance action directly constraining the commercial viability of AI-generated virtual personas and synthetic media channels. Next, products and vendors. A fully AI-generated film titled Gods Don't Give Gifts is moving from YouTube to theatrical release, opening in several hundred movie theaters on October 30. The sci-fi anthology of 4 shorts is directed by Zach London, known online as Gossip Goblin, and produced by Edward Sarch, founder of the Amazon-backed AI studio Fable. The team is modeling its theatrical strategy on the YouTube to cinema path of Markiplier's Iron Lung *, targeting an initial run in cities such as New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Chicago, while leveraging London's 1.4 million YouTube subscribers to expand screen count. London described the project as a benchmark for what can be made with AI tools that would otherwise be too expensive and unconventional to greenlight through traditional Hollywood channels. In platforms and marketplaces news, Life Virtual, a free 3D virtual world, is promoting avatar customization and the ability for users to claim their own island through short video content, positioning the platform as an alternative to established virtual worlds. And finally, enabling technology. Poolside AI has released Laguna S21, an open-source large language model with a mixture of experts architecture featuring 118 billion parameters that activates only 8 billion per token. The model supports a 1 million token context window, which dramatically expands the amount of persistent memory and narrative context available to a virtual being in a single session. It offers dual operational modes, thinking for deep reasoning and non-thinking for faster tasks, and is optimized for local deployment on consumer-grade hardware such as the RTX 3090, achieving up to 158 tokens per second. Separately, the LRDA22 Flash model has been released on Model Scope with an emphasis on serving stack configuration for a 128K context window and its mixture of experts' diffusion inference requirements. We begin with virtual influencers, evaluating the role of virtual influencers as CSR ambassadors, impact of human likeness on environmental advocacy. SAGE 2025 tests how degrees of anthropomorphism in a virtual influencer affect consumer responses to corporate social responsibility messaging. The study finds that higher human likeness increases perceived authenticity and persuasion in environmental advocacy contexts. Pause versus pixels. How do non-human influencers form consumers' attitude? AOM 2026 compares consumer attitude formation toward animal influencers, pets, versus animated non-human virtual influencers. It identifies distinct parasocial pathways, with perceived mind and cuteness operating differently across the two influencer types. Examines how attractiveness, human likeness, and credibility of a virtual influencer on TikTok drive purchase intention among Jakarta users, providing Southeast Asian consumer data on a topic dominated by Western and East Asian samples. Human versus virtual influencers, understanding the impact of AI on consumer trust and brand credibility. UPV 2025 directly compares consumer trust and perceptions of brand credibility when endorsements are delivered by a human influencer versus a virtual influencer, mapping the conditions under which AI endorsers erode or maintain trust. Virtual influencers versus Taylor and Francis 2025 is a book chapter that synthesizes engagement metrics across human and virtual influencer campaigns, weighing the relative effectiveness of each on dimensions such as emotional connection, click-through, and brand recall. Two further chapters in the same edited volume address adjacent strategy questions. Strategies for AI-powered influencer marketing in shaping the future of social media marketing in Industry 6, Taylor and Francis, 2025, outlines how virtual influencers and AI-driven content personalization reconfigure influencer marketing workflows. Taylor and Francis, 2025, tackles a live commerce setting, explicitly evaluating consumer receptivity to an AI host versus a human influencer driven by popularity incentives, with direct implications for virtual beings as shopping hosts. Gendered cognitive processing of sexual appeal in advertising, AI-generated virtual humans versus real human models, a multimodal FNIRS and eye tracking study. Taylor and Francis, 2025, uses brain imaging and eye tracking to compare how male and female consumers process sexualized imagery featuring AI-generated virtual humans versus real human models. The neural and attentional findings inform the design and ethical deployment of virtual beings in advertising. Livestream assistants as moderators, dual pathways of emotional contagion and cognitive reinforcement in e-commerce livestream consumer interactions. mendiBot 2025 investigates AI-powered virtual assistants acting as moderators in e-commerce livestreams. It maps two mechanisms, emotional contagion and cognitive reinforcement, through which these virtual entities shape consumer experience, positioning them as active virtual co-hosts rather than passive tools. Who acts and who controls? AI Imagery, Empathy, and Empowerment in Sustainable Advertising, GRE 2026, explores how the presence of AI-generated characters in sustainability ads modulates viewer empathy and sense of empowerment, contributing experimental evidence on virtual beings in cause-related marketing. From the broader query context, consumer trust in AI-generated versus human-generated content on e-commerce platforms. Auth 2025 frames its investigation around trust differentials when e-commerce content, likely including product demonstrations by virtual creators, is labeled as AI-generated, speaking to the authenticity debates that shadow virtual influencer deployment. Therapeutic Ideology and AI Personhood, an anthropological inquiry into AI companionship, ELGA 2025, addresses the cultural construction of AI personhood in companionship contexts, directly relevant to the ontological status ascribed to virtual beings when consumers form deep parasocial bonds with them. Next, virtual beings. Under the Skin, AI, Technology, and Race in China, ELGA 2025 examines how AI technologies, including virtual beings and digital humans, interact with racialized representations and technological imaginaries in China, a critical lens on the cultural politics embedded in virtual being design in a major market. And finally, titles mentioned. Evaluating the role of virtual influencers as CSR ambassadors. Impact of human likeness on environmental advocacy. Sage 2025. Pause versus pixels. How do non-human influencers form consumers' attitude? AOM 2026. Influencer attractiveness, human likeness, Dan credibility turd app purchase intention, Pada Pengguna media social, TikTok, di DKI Jakarta, studi virtual influencer. Human versus virtual influencers. Understanding the impact of AI on consumer trust and brand credibility, UPV 2025. Virtual influencers versus human influencers, who engages the consumer better. Taylor and Francis 2025. Strategies for AI-powered influencer marketing in shaping the future of social media marketing in Industry 6, Taylor and Francis 2025. When brands go live. AI host or profit popularity-driven influencer. Taylor and Francis, 2025. Gendered cognitive processing of sexual appeal in advertising. AI-generated virtual humans versus real human models. A multimodal FNIRS and eye tracking study. Taylor and Francis, 2025. Live stream assistants as moderators. Dual pathways of emotional contagion and cognitive reinforcement in e-commerce livestream consumer interactions. MDPI 2025. Who acts and who controls? AI Imagery, Empathy, and Empowerment in Sustainable Advertising, GRE 2026. Consumer Trust in AI-Generated versus Human-Generated Content on E-Commerce Platforms, Auth 2025. Therapeutic Ideology and AI Personhood, an Anthropological Inquiry into AI Companionship, ELGA 2025. Under the Skin, AI, Technology, and Race in China, ELGA 2025. We begin with people and hiring. The head of multimodal understanding at Tencent's Han Yuan, Han Hu, has resigned to launch his own startup. Hu, a former principal researcher at Microsoft Research Asia, joined Tencent in early 2025 and later reported to Shunyu Yao inside the Large Language Model Department's Frontier Advanced Technology Research Group. He had also undertaken R&D work on world models, and the group he leaves behind is expected to focus on cutting-edge world model research. Yonglong Tian, a former OpenAI researcher, has joined Tencent to replace Hu, leading vision language model development. Meta has hired Asaf Keren as its new Chief Information Security Officer. Keren arrives from Qualtrics and formerly held the same role at PayPal. He replaces Guy Rosen, who announced his departure in June after 13 years at Meta. Keren stated he will focus on building security and trust into Meta's artificial intelligence systems and infrastructure, a mandate that carries weight after a turbulent year that included a June hack exploiting an AI customer support chatbot to hijack more than 20,000 Instagram accounts. Next, world models, startups, and funding. Cybot, the Shanghai-based embodied AI and world model company, also known as Lingchu Intelligence, is closing a funding round of nearly $100 million at a $1.48 billion valuation. Carmaker Chery leads the round alongside Lens Technology, a sensor supplier to Apple and Tesla. Founded in 2024 by Victor Wang, Xiaoji Chai, Yedong Yang, and Yunpei Chen, a visiting scholar at Stanford who studied under Fei Li, Cybot has now raised roughly $300 million. Its models learn from data gathered with custom gloves and humanoid robots, and it is testing platforms at a major Chinese logistics firm and a fiber optic cable maker. Wang argues that data is both China's advantage and its bottleneck, and he predicts a GPT-2 moment for embodied AI within 2 years. European frontier AI lab Causable has raised €12 million in seed funding to build what it calls a reasoning-first world model. The round was led by UVC Partners and Entourage, with angel backing from figures at Black Forest Labs, OpenAI, and Google DeepMind. Founded in 2025 by Johannes Hawks, Benjamin Herdinu, and Gregor Ramian out of Heidelberg University, Causable trains models on synthetic causal data so they can adapt to new tasks from only a handful of examples without retraining. Its TIP-PFN model predicts tipping points and black swan events across domains, such as energy and medicine. The company plans to expand its 9-person team and pursue pilot projects in physical AI, robotics, and demand forecasting. China's Primalverse, also called Yuanhao Dynamics, has closed a seed round of several hundred million yuan, drawing investment from Legend Star, Ginkgo Valley Capital, Kifu Capital, Joyuan Asia, and a strategic infusion from surgical robot maker Jifun Medical. Founded by a Tsinghua University team, Primalverse is building a native 4D world model that jointly represents 3D space, time, physical laws, and action interactions. It has struck cooperations in embodied intelligence, autonomous driving, gaming and film, and medical surgery, including a joint project with Geekplus on a warehouse world model called Gravity 4D, and a strategic partnership with Jifun Medical on surgical robotics. Cybot is not the only Chinese world model startup, attracting 9-figure capital. The gaming and interactive entertainment company Sankey Interactive Entertainment has participated in Prana Labs, nearly $10 million seed round, and an over 1 billion yuan Series E for embodied intelligence unicorn Yimu technology. Prana Labs is building a physically accurate, interactive 3D world generation system meant to serve as a virtual training ground for robots. Yimu develops vision tactile sensors that give robots a sense of touch. Sankey frames the two bets as critical nodes on a physical AI capability chain that it has been assembling through a series of investments, stretching from world models and simulation tools to dexterous hands and brain-computer interfaces. Black Forest Labs has unveiled Flux 3, a new multimodal frontier model that jointly learns from images, video, and audio within a single architecture and can be extended to predict actions, placing it squarely in the emerging category of visual world models. CEO Robin Rombach frames vision as the highest bandwidth input into the physical world and argues that joint training across modalities is what produces genuine visual intelligence. Flux 3 will be released in video, image, action, and dev variants, with early access now open. The model is already being tested by Canva, Birder, Krea, Pixart, and others. Black Forest Labs and Mimic Robotics also introduced Flux Mimic, a video action model built on Flux 3 that is undergoing testing with Audi for robotic manipulation tasks in production environments. And finally, Meta Infrastructure and Superintelligence Labs. Meta has requested that AMD build a heavily cut-down custom version of the MI450X accelerator, halving its compute units and shrinking high-bandwidth memory from 12 high to 8 high, according to an analysis by Semi-Analysis. The chip is tailored for recommendation system workloads, but the report says it is of no interest to Meta's own Superintelligence Lab, TBD Lab, which was established after the custom chip decision and will favor NVIDIA's Vera Rubin. Semi-Analysis directly called on AMD to bypass Meta's infrastructure team, and work with TBD Lab to supply the standard MI450X. The MI450 episode follows what semi-analysis describes as a pattern of over-engineered and short-sighted infrastructure decisions, including the $2.05 billion plus Revos acquisition that has seen talent exit and its core GPU intellectual property shelved, and the custom Grand Teton and aerial server designs whose extra cost and complexity were later abandoned. The product of TBD Lab's own work, Muse Spark 1.1, has posted a strong lead over competing models on the Health Bench Hard Medical Reasoning benchmark. Muse Spark was developed by Meta Superintelligence Labs under Chief AI Officer Alexander Wang, who joined Meta after the company took a $14.3 billion, $49% non-voting stake in his startup Scale AI. Meta is offering the model through a paid API at $1.25 per million input tokens and $4.25 per million output tokens, with the consumer version staying free inside Meta AI. Muse Spark is a closed model, a departure from Meta's open-weight llama strategy. That's all for this hour's briefings. You can help improve this broadcast by supporting patreon.com/mendiBot. Thanks to all our patrons listed here.